How's it going, my fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy Uzumaki Hadou, and this is a Gantz chapter manga review. Gantz chapter 008, Regular Ordinary Life. We got some girls getting jealous, and we got Corona getting a compliment. This and more coming at you next. So this chapter was really small and straight to the point. So it opened up where it left off last week with the girls finishing their training, and we have the veteran Gantzers letting the girls know that these suits are your lifeline. So we have some of the girls basically talking and saying that even someone weak with these suits can do something in battle, and it's good for these girls to understand the full extent of these suits and understand that these suits will save their lives, and not just that, help them kill these aliens when need be. So we have Fujimoto approaching Corona and letting her know that he's expecting a lot from her. Matter of fact, he feels that she has a lot of potentials. And on the side, we have Ikigami. She's sitting there and she's upset, and you can see the jealousy running on her face. She is very not happy about Fujimoto approaching Corona and letting her know that Corona is awesome. You know, Corona, I really feel like you have a lot of potentials. You're going to go very, very far. And Ikigami is not happy about this. We can see the disgust on her face. So we move to the next scene where we have Corona getting up. She's thinking about their first mission, thinking about everything they did and how Nike was killed. And she thinks to herself, you know what? I want to become stronger. She gets her suits and she goes out. She starts running, start jogging, trying to make herself stronger. And I really like this about the character because it shows that this character definitely wants to become stronger. She doesn't want to be weak. She wants to be badass, and I really do like that. So we move to the next scene, and we have Ikigami. She's getting her hair done, and she's getting ready to do a show. We got people doing her hair. We got people all around kind of talking to her, and you can see that she's angry. She's thinking about that night where Fujimoto approached Corona and told her that compliment. And not just that, she's just really, really angry. She seemed like a very angry person. Then we have a new character coming in. I believe her name is Moran. She's with a little group. She's doing her show, and everyone was like, you know what, I need to say hi to her. I need to go show my support. So they all went out to kind of go see Moran do her show. And we got Ikigami. She's in the room, and at this moment, she's alone. She seems once again angry. She pulls her drink on a magazine, and she throws it in the trash. So to kind of focus on Ikigami for a second, she seemed like a very jealous type of person. She seemed like someone who wants to be the center of the spotlight. If she's not the center of the spotlight, just fuck everyone else. Seemed like she really wants that attention. To kind of sum her up, she seems to me personally as a attention whore. She wants everyone to notice her, and that's something that it just shows. She's just very jealous of all these other people that get some spotlight. And I think that's going to really kind of build her character a little bit. We're going to learn a little bit more about that. And I think that's going to have a big play later on in Gantz. So we have this new group that's sitting up there. They're doing their dance. And we have this guy in the background. They don't say his name or anything, but he stands out from the rest of the audience. He's this guy. He looks pretty creepy, like a pedophile that's waiting in the gutter, just waiting to lynch out to do something. And he's watching these girls basically dance on the stage. And one of the main girls, I believe you pronounce her as Moran, she's dancing and he's kind of watching her. So as the dance is over, Moran gets ready to leave. She walks out, and this guy meets her on the outside. I believe he must be a fan. He comes to all her shows, and Moran and him starts to talk, and you can tell he's very off. He seems very, very creepy. Very like a person you wouldn't want to be around. So Moran, she's like, this guy again, you know, it's like, he makes me creep out. This is a creep. Is he a stalker? What's wrong with this guy? And the guy's like, no, you should pay your fans a little bit more attention. You didn't call on me this time that much. You didn't pay attention to me that much. So he really do seem persistent. He really do seem like someone you definitely don't want to be around. So Moran lets him know what? I gotta go to the station. I gotta go to the station, I gotta go home. And the guy's like, you know what? I gotta go to the station also. So he was like, what about we just walk together and talk? And you can really see that Moran is very disgusted by this guy. She doesn't want to be caught in public with this person. And not just that, he just doesn't seem safe. Now, to kind of pause it for a second and kind of talk about this new guy, he might not be anything. They might just put him in for filler, but in reality, I feel like maybe he might have a part in the story. Perhaps he might attempt to kidnap this girl, rape her, and kill her, and she become part of Gantz and fight aliens, or maybe he might get killed and become part of Gantz and fight aliens. I don't know, but to me personally, he really stood out as like he had some type of purpose. So maybe he might have a purpose later on in this series. So we get to a point where Corona runs up and she sees Moran and she starts talking to Moran, and Moran, I guess she's embarrassed, so she runs off because the creep was right beside her. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, So the guy asks Moran, do you know that girl? And she's like, no, and they just keep walking off. So finally we get to the end of the chapter. Like I said, the chapter was really straight to the point. Not a lot of stuff happened. We get to the end of the chapter and they're back at the top of the building. They're getting ready to train some more. We got Corona talking to her friend. Her friend seemed very, very scared. It's like, you know what? I'm going to jump across with you. So Corona and her friend jumps across to another building, getting that training on jumping pretty far. And we have, once again, Ikegami standing on the side, really angry. It's like, you know what? This is BS. She makes me sick. And Ikegami's friend's like, yeah, she makes me sick also. I'm like, wow. And then the biggest part of this chapter, to kind of close the chapter out, was the blonde girl wasn't there. Everyone was there except the blonde girl, and that is, I believe you pronounce her, Kaiji. And at the end, we see her by herself in her suit, maybe in the alley, and she has a stone look on her face, like maybe she's looking at something or someone. Maybe she's getting a face off against an alien or someone. We don't know. She's by herself, and she has this really, really serious look on her face, and then it goes off. Wow. That's basically the chapter. So overall, I think something I kind of want to talk about with this chapter is something that I hear a lot of people talking about in the comment box, is how they feel that feminism has taken over Gantz. And a lot of people is not happy about it. Now, me personally, I don't feel like feminism have taken over Gantz. I feel like they're trying to do a lot of fan service. I feel like it's very, very female dominant right now. I feel like they're trying to do a lot of fan service. And to be honest, I don't think they're doing a great job with the fan service. Don't get me wrong. The suits is nice and the shape of the body is awesome. But Gantz is not just all about fan service. It's about the brutally blood and batter and violence and the guts going all over the place, and I'm not really getting that. Like, Gantz to me personally is like a rated R / maybe rated X type of anime manga, where right now I feel like this is an E for everything, E for everybody. Like, it doesn't seem that violent at all. Now, at the beginning of the mangas, when it first started off, Gantz G, we did have some people get their head blown off and some people get killed, but for the last few chapters, it's really been really, really plain. It's just kind of them really not doing anything. They're doing their ordinary life, like just getting their hair done and jogging. So I'm hoping that it will pick up very, very soon. Now, for Corona, I really like Corona because she reminds me back to Gantz when we had K, who came in. He wasn't all badass, but he trained, he became stronger, and he became like one of the baddest characters in the series. So I'm really hoping that they really build her character development up and really put some TLC with this character, because I really feel like she can be awesome. But overall, I felt like this chapter here was very lackluster. To be honest with myself and to be honest with my fellow Homo sapiens, a lot of stuff didn't happen. There was no character development in this chapter. There was no pushing the story in this chapter. It was just this them training. That's it. It was them training and them living their ordinary life, and that's what the chapter was called, regular ordinary life. So hopefully it picks up very, very soon. But that's all I have for you today. If I left something out, please let me know in the comment box below. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Matane.